All right, so we had a little chat with the young couple there. That's the couple I saw in the parking lot. Yeah, so when I go back, I think I'm going to try that, go around the lake. And she said you got to cut across the soccer field. I remember that. So see, now we're getting up at the end with the Sussex Rail Trail, where I said when I came by on Route 206, about a mile before where I, the park I parked in, there's a parking lot, and you could start up at this end. I think I remember that construction company. You could see that from the road, I believe. Here are the deer. I don't hear a lot of birds out here, like I do over at the Corte, that bird sanctuary. So we come through here. I can't even see, I got this map pointing. So I think we stay to the right, because that would take us, we could probably get out there. So we go to the right here. But right here is where we want the left. With the bug spray, the insect repellent on. All right, so I think this is what I want. That's right to the right there is where I want to go, and I'm just going to go up here like I always do. This comes to the end. And so one of the trails up here that I accidentally takes you out to the parking lot that I was describing. All right, so down here we want to take that left that I just avoided to come up here. Right here. Okay, so to the right. Pretty sure I want to go to the left. Pretty sure. I really need to turn the map in an upright because it's pointing north always up top. And if I'm coming, I got to keep looking down to kind of see. A little bit hard to visualize. So let me just take a peek here. I actually might want to go out here. GoPro, stop recording. All right, I'm just going down here. I don't know if this is what I want. I just want to see. I don't see it as a trail on at least the map I'm using. But it might actually be there. I can almost see the parking lot out there. Or is that just that's the trucks? Let's get up here and see. This would be the entrance in. Oh, so this is, right, so that's exactly where you would come in, right there, the Sussex Rail Trail. And I guess that's what this is that I'm riding on here. Okay. All right, good. We'll jump back through here. We really have to fix this helmet, the straps. I have to adjust the straps. Instead of just dialing the dial in real tight, the straps help hold it up better. Small details, comfort details. Okay, so that's what that is there. And I think there's another one. I think there's a second one that'll go out to the rail trail that I don't want. I think this is the same one. So let's take this and see. Yep. Looks like that's the same, that's the rail trail as well. So some people follow that orange arrow. Like the kids, the couple was saying. All right, so when I come by, I did kind of remember today that you go by, you pass two lefts, and it's the third one we want, which will be the next one. And this should be it right here. And I thought I think I come out on the one right to my right. This one adjacent right to my right. This is where that visor on my other mountain bike helmet would help. Just put my head down and the visor sticking out. You can deflect the branches a little bit. Here I have no visor. I could use the helmet, but the visor sticking out is so much better. So that girl said that was her first year too, mountain biking. I still think, wow, a girl, I'm impressed, but girls are so damn strong. Just that, my generation in the gym, girls didn't do heavy weights, but all that's changed, and they're just strong. Women are strong. They have great endurance. So when they're out doing all these things, I shouldn't be so impressed, but I still am always. just take a peek here. So I'm going, yeah, so if we go to the left, it'll go out to the rail trail again. We want to stay to the right. And then here, yep, we're staying to the right. I believe this is what I want. All right, so where did I come in? So let's just see what we have here. There's that big rock as a landmark. All right, so I come up here and then I go back and go by that. Okay. All right. And right there is where I went in. Yep, right there. So now we make the left and go back around this way. That was a tricky little spot. So I'm realizing what I'm doing. I get forward and I'm pushing on the handlebars to push the bike forward. I used to use the word just like humping it over. Well, I get right forward. This way I push the bike under me forward, kind of, you know. And I think right there is where I could have come if I didn't want to, you know, go back to where I almost entered, and it would come out right to the left there. Up here we have that real tricky spot. There's two ways to go up. To the left is the easy way, still challenging, and then to the right is the real hard way. And I just missed it. It's right there. Right there. Let's just take a look at this. So when I go up it, I think I kind of go to the right and then I find my way over to the left. I think that's how I do it. Let's come down here. It's not extremely steep, it just says it's got tricky at the top. Technical. There's rocks and roots in the way. I think right through here, right here is kind of tough. That was by the skin of my teeth again, right? I'm like hanging on. Jeez. Elegant. One of these days I'll find elegant. Hanging on. And it does feel like I'm coming to a momentary stop, although you don't see it in the video. Yeah, that's tough. I guess if I were to session it, do it a bunch of times over and over. Well, it's nice to have made that sucker, but yeah. Have I ever made it like, you know, elegantly? I don't think so. Every time I redo it now, it just feels like, I keep using the expression by the skin of my teeth, like I barely made it. And the beginning going into it, it's a little tricky down the bottom there. Doesn't look bad, but it kind of takes away all your momentum, throws you off a little bit. Hello. Again, right? Yes. That's just climbing. Which shows me that I'm not warmed up yet, right? So I've probably been out here how long? And I'm not warmed up. A few of those efforts are what get me warmed up. I think last time I came through, I realized that the spot where I split my tire on, they kind of removed it. They widened it. They widened it. It was kind of like that spot I came down earlier on where I had to try it a second time. And it's like you're skinning between the rocks, then you had to come to a stop. And, oh, excuse me. Yeah, I feel like I've been away from mountain biking with the riding I've been doing. You know, just like the, I'm going to call gravel riding. Hartshorn is nothing. I mean, not Hartshorn. Well, I was at Hartshorn, but hadn't been riding much before that either. Definitely want to go back and go around that lake when I'm done today. It's too nice to go home. It's too nice to go home when I'm up here. It's beautiful up here. I was acknowledging like the places I went by on 206, remembering kind of like where I was, and so yesterday I zoomed in the lens when I was down by the water. When I went out and did a ride, I forgot to unzoom it, and you could see real high ahead. You couldn't see the handlebars at all. And when you can't see that, it doesn't feel like you're a part of the ride. So I think having the handlebars in the picture is key. Try going up this way too. Nope. Geez, I was almost going to go up there. So let's. Well, I could actually go over that part instead of trying to skinny down the middle there. Let's do that one again. Yep. Because I was going to the right, that would have been too much of a roll down. All right. GoPro, stop recording. All right, so we're gonna give this a second attempt. To get the line I used, was I over here a minute ago? And I came over here. There we go. Then when you get right here, that's what you want to do. That's how you do it. That's tricky. That's tricky. Oh boy, that's tricky. Because there's all those little, all that stopping and turning and almost coming to a still after you get past the tricky part where I went back and turned around to do a second time. Yeah. Yep. I think that's the hardest spot, except for that orange trail on the other side towards the end. That's the hardest spot there. Excuse me. Kittatinny Valley State Park. I believe that's what it is. Kittatinny Valley. Kittatinny Valley. Kittatinny Valley. They say the rocks eat your tires up. Look at that cool picture where they sawed the tree in half like they do on the trails. Well, that was just that was the way around. That was that little tight, I remember when I had Anthony with me, we were on the fat bikes. I remember going around that and acknowledging that I could feel the short wheelbase on the fat bike because I slid the rear wheel tire a 1.5 centimeters forward. You know, Trek gives you that option. I forget what they call their stuff, but they give you that option. Yep, there's no way. Well, now, yeah, I say this every time. One of these days I'm going to get this, because if I went to the right, if I could have got to the right like you can here, you could potentially get up over here, but then it gets real steep. Well, that might have felt easier than ever. So when you come, definitely doable. GoPro, stop recording. All right, I just turned the camera on and off. I was going to try the top of that spot, just starting, a little ways from the top. And nope, it's a little bit too much for me. So we're going to leave that one, but it's starting to look a little more doable. The first time it looked almost doable, or, somewhat thinking about it doable, where I just say there's no way ever. Well, I certainly feel stronger today physically. I've been taking a lot of rest. I can see some of my strength increasing in the gym. I just do a couple, strength exercises for my back and my legs. I don't do a lot. Just one exercise, maybe 4 sets once. I've been doing it twice a week now. And the strength is what will help me out here tremendously. All right, so let's see what we have here. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, turn the camera on and off again. So that word surfing, where you're like completely sliding and you're just balancing. That's the surfing thing. Imagine going down the hill and the rear wheel just keeps slipping and you're just skidding. So I think that's surfing. You're skidding, so you're just going to surf. You're going to skid and you're going to balance as you're sliding. The reason I brought it up is because that's what I feel like I'm doing when I go over a bunch of rocks, like up the top of a bunch of misshaped pile of rocks, like there's a small one back there. It's like I'm just surfing the top of the rocks or over the rocks. In a standing mode, that is, right? So when I get standing, so what is all this here? Just a bunch of loose rocks. So when I just go over everything in front of me and I'm kind of standing, that's again, it applies there too. There I watched to make sure what position my crank arm was in, my pedal, purposely to get through there. All right, keeping my weight back a little bit. I hadn't been using that. So all these things that I'm still learning and embedding into memory. So, so here, we did this last time, and I believe I do want to go straight. Camera right back on. All right, so now we're in an open field. All these plants. I would suspect they use a lawnmower. So this trail, because there's 2 adjacent to it on both sides. This trail may be the lesser of the ones that are used. All right, so look around. So there's that house there. You know, I come out on the other side over here, but I want to go up in the woods a little bit up here. So when this trail comes up here, I go to the right. so we make a right here, the first left, and then another left. Let's see if that works out for me. Right here, this is the first left. I think I came down from the right there, and another left. And that should be my left right there. First left and then another left. I was looking at my tire tread from riding on the pavement so much. I'm gonna have to rotate my tires, and then, you know, after a bit, I'm gonna think about what size tire I want to get when I get a new pair. And do I want to continue with the cross-country tread like I think I want to? It looks like the intersection. I want to make a left up here. Let's see what we have.